Well, good evening, Dr. Grossman. And before you're coming to us from Chicago, before we move into questions, tell us about what your thoughts are about this week's health news for our community.
First, Al, I have to tell you, every time I hear that Pioneer thing, I think I should be in a covered wagon.
Yeah. Oh, wait, you're not going to find any disagreement here.
But thank you all. I appreciate it. I don't think there was a lot of major news for LGBT health this week. I think I think it's the usual information that there is huge amounts of different disinformation out there, that people need to choose their sources carefully, that some of the people that are held up as role models are actually espousing really crazy stuff, and people just need to be thoughtful and careful.
There's a famous NFL quarterback only about 100 miles from you. Speaking of espousing, we hear you loud and clear. So let's jump right into some of the questions that we have for you tonight.
Hi, Dr. Grossman. What are your thoughts on the states that are fighting vaccine mandates for businesses?
I think it's sort of typical that these are the red states that have been fighting vaccine mandates all around, and I think they're basically just killing people, is what it boils down to. They're playing to this hardcore base of right-wing vaccine deniers. I understand that people are upset about mandates and upset about wearing masks. It's interesting to be here in Chicago now, where there are clear mandates and everybody wears a mask indoors everywhere, and there's no fighting about it. And you don't see anybody, unlike Florida, you don't see anybody kicking up a fuss here in Chicago. Right outside the city, yes, you still see it. In downstate Illinois, there's still a problem. But I think, this is just going to continue to spread the virus, unfortunately.
Doctor,
I'm sorry, vaccine mandates, again, we've said it before, go back to George Washington, who mandated that all Revolutionary War troops be vaccinated for smallpox. There's nothing new about this, and the courts have upheld it over and over and over again. This conservative court in New Orleans, the 3-judge panel that stopped the vaccine mandate from going through the other day, I can't see how that will stand in the future.
Doctor, I've got another question about treatment in Asia, but I want to play off something that you just were talking about, vaccines. I've heard a lot of people say now that a pill is available that makes it easier to treat and to reduce hospitalizations and death. Some people are saying, well, I don't need to get the booster. I'll just take a pill if and when I get a breakthrough case or if I develop COVID outright. What do you say to that?
Well, the pill reduces hospitalizations by 70%. That does not say that it prevents them all. It does not say that's a significant number of people who will still be hospitalized and could die. And then again, getting COVID, you could end up with long COVID. So the vaccine is going to prevent those kind of things. And so I think, it's very good for people, good news for people who have gotten infected. But why would somebody want to get infected in the first place?
Yes. Also, Singapore is ending free COVID treatment in hospitals for those who choose not to get vaccinated. Do you think this is a good idea?
You hate to see anybody denied service. I mean, we certainly, when people smoke and they get cancer, we take care of them. That's just the way we do it here. I think in many other societies, though, they think about the greatest good for the greatest number of people, and they're more willing to go that way. Personally, I do think that people who don't get vaccinated for COVID are asking for trouble.
All right. And finally, Doctor, do you think that we're going to see a surge during the winter?
I think there's no question about it, but it's going to depend on where you are. So, certainly
we're in Florida, by the way. I just want to remind we're in Florida.
So we're good.
So we're good. We're good.
We're
no problem.
We've been
We're
exposed.
lucky enough that the weather is better, but with holidays, people are doing a lot more indoor activities.
Yeah.
Families are traveling. People are getting together in bigger groups. So I think that
It's our high
even
season.
in Florida, that's going to cause, and you've had rain all weekend, I've understand the last couple of weeks, and so people are indoors all the time. Certainly in a place like this where it's a lot colder, I think it's really going to depend on the vaccine rate, but I think we will see surges in those places. We're already seeing it in the states that where vaccination rates are low.
Yeah. Well, I'm good because I've taken my liver horse pills, and so I really don't have any problem at all.
I'm on PrEP, so I can get anything.
Yeah, there you go.
There we are. Well, that is this evening's Queer News Tonight's Q&A on LGBTQ plus health and the pandemic. We're here every Tuesday with Dr. Howard Grossman. We have done this now for a year and a half, he and I together. He's here to answer your questions.
That's the longest relationship I've had.
Oh, I've got jokes. I just got jokes. We're going to broaden this segment just shortly to other things besides the pandemic, because as we said, the pandemic in Florida is over, so we have nothing else to talk about here. Dr. Grossman comes to us from his new home in Chicago, where he is part of the team at the Howard Brown Health Center, the largest LGBTQ health resource in the Midwest. And remember, Howard, I promised to remind you. Today, it was, we woke up to 64 degrees and we got to a high of 79. I'm sure Chicago is just as beautiful today.
It was 62 degrees here today, so
Was
there
it?
you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to come back to that the first week in December, and we'll.
We may need a global warming segment.
Exactly right. Right. Exactly.
Wow.
So thank you, Howard, for being with us at Queer News tonight.
Thank you all. Have a good week.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.